Hey guys, what's up? I have a lot to share with you for the last 2 days. Yesterday, my husband dropped me off at Baba Sheep in Ghent in downtown Norfolk while he went and did some paperwork. And while I was there, I got two more braids of Malabrigo roving. And this is the Malabrigo Nude Solis. Yeah. And Ross is only charging $15 per 4-ounce braid for these. So that's pretty good. So I got two of these to spin up. So if you're a spinner and you're in the local area, you should go over and check out the roving. It's merino. And it's very nice, very well dyed. It's not compacted. It's not compacted at all. So, I highly recommend this for spinning. Mind you, it is merino, so you might want to think carefully about what project you want to use it for, because it will peel. So think carefully about what you're going to make with it. Okay. So, and then I got this purple. It's almost showing up right. This purple and this green. It's Cascade 128 Superwash, 100% Superwash Merino, and it's 3.5 ounces, 128 yards per skein. So I'm going to make something for my daughter Marissa, and these two colors look good together. So I want to make her something lacy, like a cowl or something with these two. So, yeah, and it's very nice. This is some nice Cascade wool. I also got this skein, and it is showing up true to color. I just got one to make a hat with. And it's the Rasta, it's 90 yards, and it's Malabrigo. But, so I want to make a bulky cabled hat with this. I don't wear hats, but I like making them. So that's all I got yesterday from Baba Sheep. Now, my daughter, they went to the Comic-Con that was down in Virginia Beach. And she brought me back. Gambit is my husband, just so y'all. I've always loved the character of Gambit. Especially in the old X-Men, before they had the X-Men, X and New Generation, all that stuff. I always loved the old Gambit and Rogue romance. So this is like more kind of like the Gambit, the older version of him. And so she got me this, and it's a towel. I don't know if she's got like a glare on it. So there he is in all his beauty. There you go. Damn it, it's hot. Hot. And also, so after that, me and my husband, he went to do some more paperwork, and I was sitting and crocheting in the car and knitting. And we went over to Ollie's. And while we were at Ollie's, if you have an Ollie's near you, you might want to go check into it, because I got the sock a la carte, the first one. I have two of the other ones, the later ones, but I think this is one of the first ones. And I got it for $2.99. Yeah. So now I got 3 of these books. They also had the other one, like with the Fur Owl and stuff, but I have no interest in Fur Owl. I mean, I could have got it just so I could have, like, each of them, but I have no interest in Fur Owl. Even if it was $3, why get a book you're never going to use? So, yeah. So that's what I got from Ollie's. And so then we went out to eat. Let me find the name of it. I've told you guys about this restaurant before. So it was date night for me and Ashley and the husbands. It was date night. And so we went to the little Vietnamese restaurant off of George Washington. What is it called? Highway. So the name of the restaurant is Vietnamese 81. That's the name of the restaurant. Vietnam 81 is the name of the restaurant. The food there is very good. He has, I don't know, like 20 some soup dishes, and then it also has like plated dishes. But the food is awesome, and their smoothies are to die for. So I always get a mango smoothie. Oh yes, and his spring rolls, so nice. They are so very good. So I got the spring rolls. I got the number 9 this time. It was amazing. It was awesome. And I got spring rolls number 9 and the mango smoothie. So if you guys are in the area and you're looking for a good place to go eat some very nice food, you won't be disappointed. I've yet to get anything from there that wasn't just very palatable, very filling, and just a real nice, very nice, and not quiet, because we were being kind of noisy, but it's not crowded when you go in there. I mean, he does steady business, but you never feel like you're crowded or being rushed. So we had a good time. Me and Ashley and our husbands. So yeah, we were like on like a little psychic thing, because me and my husband, we had been talking about where we were going to eat, because the kids had gone to the Comic-Con. So we were like, we were hanging out. It's date day for us. So we were doing, going to places, taking care of business, getting more money put on the transponder, stuff like. Because I couldn't remember the password, and I couldn't find the paper that the password was on. It was in the car, in the glove compartment where it's supposed to be. Shame on me. So we had to go over to the VDOT, or whatever they call that place, Elizabeth River Tunnel place, to get some more money put on the transponder. And so I was like, well, and there's also on George Washington Highway, and it is past the Vietnamese restaurant and past Ollie's. On the left hand side, in front of this old closed down shopping center, is like this old recording studio back there. And there is another little tiny Chinese restaurant. And I think across the street from it is like a KFC, or one of those KFC Taco Bell combos or something. But he has some amazing lumpia. The lumpia is like this long, like a foot long lumpia, and they're like about the size of my thumb, almost like taquitos, but it's Filipino food, so they're like that. And the lumpia is so freaking good and tasty. It reminds me of the lumpia that when I was stationed in Lakehurst, one of the guys that was on Honor Guard used to make. And it's just very, very good. Like I told my husband, I haven't had lumpia like that since then. She used to make it for me. So I'll also recommend that restaurant. Let me see if I can find the name of it, and I can tell you guys. There it is. It's called Lumpia in Portsmouth, Virginia. Nope. That's not it either. I don't see it. I have to find the name of it, because I have one of the menus from the restaurant, but it's down in the car. Is this it? Let me see. But that might be it. Let me see the location. Let's see. They have a street view. Yes. It's called Fortune China. It's 5101 George Washington Highway. So if you guys want some nice lumpia and some nice Chinese food, you can try these guys out too. Okay, so that's the food stuff that happened. Now, today, I got up early and I made liver and onions so I could take some to Jana's mom. And I went out to Windswept Farms. Used to be where the mill was at, but the mill is gone, and most of the alpacas are gone now. So I went out there to hang out for a little while and take the liver and onions to her mom, and then take those hats, those night helmets that I made. I took those out there too, and I'll insert a picture. I'm gonna actually edit my video for y'all, so you better appreciate it. Let me write down the time so I can know where to go. So I have to look for it. So 10, 20, 8-ish. So I took the hats and stuff out there, and I took the, as you noticed that she doesn't have any covers. You might can't see her the way I got the camera good. She doesn't have a top anymore because I gave the Piper's Journey to Jana's mom, Jill. And so, and it looked good on her too. It was perfect for her, so yeah. And I gave them their Christmas gifts that I made for them because, you know, I don't get to go out there maybe, you know, every couple of months, so I wanted them to go ahead and have it. I'll probably make some more stuff, and I can just throw it in a box and mail that out, so that's no problem. So we'll go out to the mill, and then Jana's like, oh, do you want some more yarn? And I'm like, I really don't need any, but I'm not going to say no to free yarn. So, you know, because they're trying to get rid of all the inventory that they got left. And so they're going to be going to a Christmas show, and they're probably getting rid of the last of it. So Jana goes up into the storefront, and we're standing there, and she's just walking around to the different racks and just grabbing yarn off the racks. Yeah. So most of it is merino. Some of it is merino alpaca, and then some of it is alpaca. And I gotta put it back down on the shelves, so I'm just gonna cut these bags open so I can show you guys what I got. Alright, so this is alpaca, and this is seraphim, and it's sport weight, and it's a 3-ply, and it's 250 yards per skein. So there's 2 seraphims. It's a beautiful, beautiful brown. And then this is alpaca, and it is Tobler one, DK 250 yards, and there are, I got enough I think to make a sweater from his. But anyway, these colors look good together, so even if I didn't have enough, I could probably match this with some of my stash I already have back there, and I'll have enough I could do an actual sweater. Have a sweater's worth. So since I already cut this bag open, it ain't gonna stay, so I'm just gonna flop it. Because like I said, all that stuff has to be. And if I'm rushing, if you feel like I'm rushing, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to get all this done. And then this is some merino, and it's navy and fawn merino that was spun together. And it is a sport weight, but if you hold it under tension, it is a fingering. It's a 2-ply. So it's more like a fingering versus a sport. So there's 3 skeins of that, and these will actually make some really nice socks. So those are nice. And then in this bag, there's also, and I have 1 skein of this already, I think, so that'd be good having 2 of it. This is a purple and black, almost like a black light. Then there's this is actually a gray. It might show up green in this light, but this is actually that gray that I used to make, like I used to make one of the boys' hats. This is a gray. This is merino. And then there's another black light. Alright, and then there's 3 of the sport weight yellow. I don't think I have sport weight yellow. I have worsted yellow. One of them is like a partial skein. It's not a full skein. So that's the yellow. Okay. So that's bag 2. Okay. I wish that I had more wool worthy and alpaca worthy people in my family, because I wouldn't have to buy anymore. But I would have to buy commercial yarn simply because I don't use good stuff for babies. Babies puke and poop, and there's no need of me making something really nice for them to poop and puke on and stain it or ruin it. Because sometimes smells are getting to wool or alpaca, and I don't care how much you soak it in vinegar and all this other stuff, sometimes those smells do not wash away completely. And y'all know what I'm talking about. So this is some more, it was some brown and black, and this is merino. It's a 2-ply sport. And then I had 2 of the light pale blues, and it's worsted, and this is merino. And the good thing about it is I already have most of these colors. So it's actually giving me enough of some of these colors that I can easily now I can say, okay, I want to do a sweater, which I haven't done a sweater. So I have to do a sweater this year because I'm planning on going around back. So I got to do a test sweater this year and then do a real, get down to the nitty gritty. I mean, I've crocheted like cardigan and strug and stuff like that, but I've never seriously made a sweater where I gotta like pay attention to buttonholes and gauge and all that crap. So then I have some white, and there was 3 skeins of this, and it's also merino. This is supposed to be a DK. It's a 3-ply. Yeah, it's a DK. It's poofy though, like it's worth it, but it's not. And I knit it tightly, so under tension it would definitely be a DK for me. So that's bag 3. So I have one more bag to show you guys, and then I'll show you what I'm working on, crochet and knit and spinning. Yes, even though Spinzilla just got finished, I have been spinning. So yeah. Alright, so this is alpaca merino. This is the alpaca merino, and who did she say it was? This is Charmer's fiber, and I have enough 250 times 5. I think I do believe I have some of Charmer's from previous shearings. So if not, I can probably match this up with some of the previous shearings. So his wool is heavier. It's not as fine a grade of wool, a fine grade of alpaca as some of the others, but it still knits the skin soft. And yeah, so that's Charmer's. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skeins of Charmer's wool. So yeah, so that is my Windswept Farms haul. She also gave me some of her old shelving, like the metal racks. She had some of these, so she gave me some of those. So this here is probably, we're gonna put it up to the ceiling and might carry it over and down, across and down. So we'll see what we come up with. So I have more storage in here. Okay, now what am I working on spinning wise? Right now I'm spinning some merino that I dyed, and it doesn't have a name. The merino has a high. This merino has a 22. What is it? 22 micron count. Let me see if I can find it. What does it say? I think it's like a 22. No, 22 is too high. I had it written down somewhere. Janice merino. It's her merino. She bought it to be equivalent to and match up closely with the herd fiber, so that you couldn't tell. You really couldn't. It was very hard to tell if the merino had been added to the alpaca fleece, alpaca blankets. But so this is some that I dyed. I don't know if you can see the colors good. Let me take some of it out so you can kind of see the colors. So it has some maroons, some browns, blues, greens, and whites. Because I like white in the fiber for the multicolors. This is a ball of it. So you see I pull it apart to get it ready for spinning. It makes it more lofty and everything. And this is what it looks like so far as it's spinning up. I don't know if you guys will be able to see the true color. Feel the focus. There you go. But it's shinier than that. It has more luster than that. And it's very spinning up very nicely, very thin. So I'm really enjoying spinning these. So what I'm doing is I'm alternating spins right now since Spinzilla, because I need a little bit more color in my life to make it less boring. So what I'm doing is I'm spinning up some fiber that Jenna gifted me, and it is either curly fleece or Blueface, not Blueface Leicester. What's the other one I'm thinking of? Not BFL. It's the other one. Long wool. But it's a little hairy like the long wool. So I don't think it's curly fleece because it's a little hairy. But this is it. It's spinning up nice and thin. And it's a little scratchy. But it's probably once I wash it, because it still has a little bit of dirt in it. So once I wash it and soak it and put a little vinegar in the water when I soak it, or a little bit of lemon juice in the water when I soak it to whiten it up some, we'll see exactly how it does. But this is the second bobbin that I'm working on. And it almost looks like tan, but it might end up being a light beige once it's washed. What's the word I'm looking for? Starts with an M. My mind is gone. Mort. That's the word I'm looking for. It might be from a mort, a very light mort fleece, because it's consistent. This is it. This is some of it. There's several other balls in the back, but I put it in this plastic bag, keep it off the floor. When I spin it, I'll just pull from the bag. And there's just a little teeny bit of edge matter in there. It has a very beautiful luster. It's not mohair. I know it's not mohair. So it's real pretty, very pretty. And it's going to be nice, either dyed or left just like it is and made into a shawl that's you're not expecting to wear next to skin. Alright, so that is that spinning. The progress on the Falkland that I'm spinning, that I started spinning doing Spinzilla, that I decided I'm going to spin the whole braid up using the drop spindles, and it's going to be some sock yarn. Okay, so I spun some more on this one at work. This is the one that I started. But then I was putting some on this one, because this one Mushi had gotten to for some reason. Mushi loves this Falkland. I don't know why. She keeps going into my bag and stealing it. So I have to keep an eye on her. That's why she's not in here messing with me, because she's a thief. She's a wool thief now. So yeah. So this is so nice. This Falkland is spinning up so nice. I'm so glad that I dyed up a bunch of it. And I will be spinning up a bunch of it. There's Rami and Falkland behind me on those two racks. It's Rami and Falkland. This is what it looked like. The one that I spun up doing Spinzilla. The colors aren't showing up true to color, but there you go. It's a little bit, just a teeny bit darker than that. But it's really squishy. Oh my goodness, it's squishy. And this hasn't even been washed yet. Let me see how squishy it is. Can you imagine what it's going to fall out to when you wash it? Beautiful, beautiful fiber. And an awesome dye job, if I must say so myself. Alright, so spinning and crochet. I finished that other blue baby blanket. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me post a picture of that. I finished the pink blanket. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see a picture of that. And the pink blanket is actually over there, but I'm not going to go over there and get it. Just take my word for it. I'll insert a picture here. What I do with my piece of paper. 1028 hats. And 2442 pink blanket. And blue blanket. Okay. The things I do for you people. Now, knitting. Well, first let's go to crochet. Alright, first, I have a commission from a friend that she wants for one of her friends for one of those little turtle photo prop things, but it's for a baby. So this is the finished prop. Let me see. There you go. There you go. Looks like a big flower, right? But it kind of, these are raised. So once you drape it over the baby, see it look kind of like a little turtle shell. Anyway, and it's not hard. They don't take long at all. I think I probably did the 7 hexagons. Probably took me an hour and a half, if that. Because I didn't sit there changing colors every round like some people do. I did the majority of the shell thing in green, and then I trimmed it. And this is Caron, Simply Soft. The green is Caron, the brown is Caron, and then the variegated, what do they call it? So, camo. The camo is Red Heart. But the colors look so good together. Those colors just came out so good together. And so yeah, and you can have it on either side. You don't have to have it on this. If you don't want to put it on the side with the ridges, you can have it like this. You don't want it on the side with the ridges. Okay, and it's very easy to do. Very, very easy to do. It's just hexagons. If you're doing the African violet flower pattern, it's just that. So I finished that, and then I was like, well, because she just, I got to do a hat for it. But on the hat, I want to put little eyes on it, and I'm gonna put like one by one ribbing at the bottom of the hat, so it's snug, but it looks kind of wrinkly. You know what I'm saying? So this is I'm making a sleeper sack or whatever they call those things for the baby in the green, so that once it's finished and like she'll have something to keep the baby warm. I like these for babies versus blankets now, because sometimes blankets are just too much material. They get caught in car doors, they get hung up on stuff and ripped and torn. And this is like right on the baby's body, snug, and it's not hanging all over the place and sliding all over the place and getting on your nerves. That's why a lot of baby blankets end up folded up in a closet somewhere, because even though they're beautiful and you love them, either you're gonna get a display rack for them or just put them on the bed or something when the baby sleep in it. But a lot of times, it's a hassle carrying these things around. Whereas this sleeper, you can have several, in different colors, and you can just slide it up on the baby and go on about your business. But anyway, if you see what I'm talking about, the baby, the little turtle body will be up under here, and the baby's in it. And then she can just lay this across the baby's back and stuff when she wants to put a little extra warmth or whatever. And this is small. So you know how when babies are in car seats and blankets, you really just can't tuck it in. This is small enough you can just tuck it around the baby, and you don't have to worry about it. So yeah, so I really like this. I should be done with it by Wednesday. And that concludes. Well, I got it done in 28 minutes. Cool. And that concludes what happened with me this week. Oh yeah, people, teach your children to respect cars and sidewalks, and to stay out of the street, and to use the crosswalks. Yesterday, when we stopped to get gas at the Farm Fresh in Berkeley, so you know where I'm talking about, right across from the funeral home parking lot. How appropriate. Anyway, these 5 boys, one had a basketball, ran across the road. They didn't run across the road in front of a car. They didn't run across the road in front of a motorcycle or a moped. They ran across the road in front of one of those big tractor-trailer truck, tow truck things that they tow tractor-trailer trucks and big, heavy vehicles with. This one was towing a dump truck. So you understand the size of this thing, okay? And he's towing a dump truck, okay? The speed limit through there is like 35 miles an hour. He wasn't even going the speed limit. That's the only reason why he didn't kill one of those kids. Had he been going the speed limit, I'm pretty sure 2 or 3 of those kids would have been rubbed out under his tires. He slammed on brakes. The dump truck started going sideways. Okay? We heard this big crash, boom, boom, boom. And I was like, oh my God, he killed one of them kids. Oh, those stupid kids, those stupid kids. I was like sitting there trying not to look because right in front of us, for fear that one of those kids or more than one of those kids got run over. And so the guy's slamming on brakes, hanging out his window, and he had this truck following him, like wide load, flashing and going slow and stuff. That truck had to slam on brakes and swerve because the dump truck started going sideways that he was towing. And I'm like, oh my God, please don't let that thing like twist the toe thing and come off and all this other crap. It wasn't a pleasant thing to view. And the kids are standing there in front of the gas pumps where we are now. Just standing there like, oh. Yeah. You should be scared because you're stupid. And I don't understand these parents who are not teaching their children to respect vehicles. It makes no sense to me. They need to be taught to cross at the crossings, cross at the crossings, and to look both ways before they cross, and to respect the vehicles that are coming towards them. There's nothing wrong with waiting a minute for something that big to go by and then safely crossing the street. Had one of those kids or more than one of those kids gotten hit or killed, the parents would have been like, oh, you killed my child, and oh, we're going to sue you. And this man who was doing nothing wrong, doing his job, would have lost his CDL license, would have probably gotten fired by the company he worked for, would have probably gotten sued and lost all kinds of income and things, and probably lost, he could have lost everything because your ignorant children and you as ignorant parents who don't want to teach your kids anything. And yes, I'm not afraid to say it because I'm telling the truth. I see it every freaking day. When we grew up, we would have never ran out in front of a tractor-trailer truck. I grew up in the country. I've seen what those trucks do to an animal's body, to deer, to a cow that got loose, to a hog that got loose, to a horse that got loose. I've seen what those trucks do to an animal's body that outweighs a human being by a couple hundred pounds, if not more. Okay? Do you really think I want to walk out in front of one? Hell no. So you need to train your kids that these vehicles weigh tons, several tons, 5 tons or more if they're pulling something like he was. So his truck is probably 5 tons, and the truck he was pulling is probably 5 tons. So I don't think your child is going to win or survive being hit by 2 5-ton vehicles in succession. Okay? It's ridiculous. The people marked and wrote to city councils and all kind of public works and all this stuff to get sidewalks redone out here in this neighborhood so that elderly people who are in wheelchairs or using walkers and stuff could safely get up on the curves and stuff like that. Brand new freaking sidewalks all over the place. And they walk down the middle of the daggone road. They walk in the middle of the road and act like they ain't gonna move. It's called jaywalking, people. You have sidewalks. Beautiful, brand spanking new, no oil on them, no cracks, no nothing, and you won't even use them. People worked for you to get those sidewalks, begged for you to get those sidewalks, petitioned for you to get those sidewalks, and you won't even use them. You walk in the middle of the street. So it would have been had those children been hit by that car, I'd have waited till the police come, and I'd have told them exactly what happened. Because that driver was not at fault in no way, shape, or fashion. Your child was at fault. The mentality your child has developed from lack of proper adult supervision is at fault. Because if my children ever did something like that and I found out about it, I'd beat them till the cows come home. I don't care who. Oh, you're not supposed to. I got spankings and I turned out just fine. Never been in jail. Never wanted to go to jail, and never did anything that would send me to jail. I always wanted to be achieved, to make my parents proud, make my parents happy. And when I did wrong, I was corrected, and I was corrected in a manner that you wouldn't do it again. Because a little thing snowballs into a big thing. We have several generations of children who have come through a system where there is no consequences for their actions. Parents' hands are tied. Parents' hands are tied. You can't discipline your child. You can't even talk harshly to your child because that's considered child abuse too. Oh, you raised your voice at your child. When is the government gonna stop? If the government is gonna parent our children, then the government should help pay for us raising our children. All these people who are running around here, oh, you can't do this, oh, you can't do that, oh, you can't. Fine. You come to my house and you start paying my mortgage to help keep a roof over my kids' heads, and you start having me put clothes on their back and let them dress up like little whores. That's what's all you can find in the store now. It's all you can find is hoochie mama clothes, and that's ridiculous for you to have to go to thrift stores and look for clothes several years old just to cover up your child's chest. No child has any business walking around in a shirt that comes down to here on them, that if they shrug, it falls off their shoulders and shows their little body. Who buys stuff like that for children, and who in the world is making this stuff for these little girls and boys? It's ridiculous. These clothes that they're making for these children. If you want your child to be looked at as a sexual object, something is wrong with you. But the fashion industry, that's all they're doing now. Making clothes for children and making these children look like sexual objects. It's ridiculous. And then you wonder why the pedophiles are so excited. Because you're dressing your child up in a way that excites them. A pedophile is going to get less time than a man selling drugs on the corner. They'll give him 5 to 15 years for selling drugs to someone who is seeking him out and buying those drugs because they want them. A pedophile is a stalker. He is hunting children down to do ungodly things to that child for sexual pleasure. Actions that this child does not want done to them. Actions this child's parents don't want done to them. Yet he'll get less time than someone selling someone something they do want. I don't understand that. I have never understood that. Never understood that. Pedophiles cannot be rehabilitated. Even if they never actually physically commits the crime again, they've been talked to by psychiatrists and everybody. They're still committing the crimes in their heads and deriving pleasure from their fantasies of these children. And sometimes it gets to the point where they have to act again. They don't want to go back to jail because everyone's heard the horror stories of what happened to pedophiles when they go to jail. They don't want to go back to jail. So what do they do the next time they act on those impulses? Majority of the time, they kill that child. They do what they're going to do, and they kill the child. Because dead men, dead children tell no tales. So you only have what? Evidence the police or whoever can put together in a case against them of what may have happened. They won't even have to tell them. They'd rather sit in jail than tell someone where they put the body at so that the family can have closure. And that's what most murderers. Even if they get caught, all your DNA is there at the scene, on the knife, on the victim. Your bodily fluids are on the victim, in the victim. They'll still deny that they did anything to that person. And they'll take the location of that person's body to the grave. And that's disgusting and ridiculous because half the time that's not their first crime. And if they'd have left them in jail or placed them in some kind of permanent work gang, building new roads, clearing out the swamp so they have proper drainage and stuff, doing labor for the rest of their lives, hard labor, but they got more rights in prison than people who work every freaking day. You go to work every day, working like a dog trying to live the American dream. When people in prison are sitting back chilling in air conditioning, don't have to work, don't have to do nothing, don't have to do nothing but sit there in prison, get 3 square meals a day, get free medical, get all this other stuff free because we're the ones paying for it. We can't even get it because our own freaking senators and all them, they don't even want us to have anything free. But they're quick to put a prisoner on a plane and fly a prisoner from one prison to the other. Put his butt on a damn Greyhound bus on the Iron Guard. What happened to the prison buses? No AC, no heat, no nothing. Chain your butt up in that bus and drive you to your next destination. You are a prisoner. Why should you be given rights that the people who work and pay taxes don't even have? You can't even get for free from the government. So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, you know? Then you see, it's just, I'm on my rants. Y'all know how it is. And then you have stuff like, I don't even want to get into this CDC stuff because I used to be a hospital corpsman. And when I heard that they let that woman get on a plane, I was like, what's up with that? You know, and there's all these conspiracy theories and stuff. It is poor training, cutbacks in training, all this other stuff. The gas, whoa, there's no gas shortage and stuff. Gas is coming down again. Why have we been paying $3 or something for a tank of gas? And then over the weekend, it done dropped down to $2.69 in some places in Virginia. Wait a minute, so we went from paying $3.30 for gas or more for gas to $2.69 in the space of a weekend. Nothing has changed. No new oil has been found somewhere. So explain that to me. Explain why gas is going back down when nothing's changed. And why is the government allowing the gas companies to do this? People who had to gave up their vehicles, started using public transportation, only use their vehicles on the weekend. People aren't traveling as far anymore. They're trying to do more local things so they don't have to spend money on gas. And so, you know, we're not buying as much gas because it's too dang on expensive. People are taking the trains, people are taking the buses, they're taking public transportation more so to keep from having to buy gas as often. But all of a sudden our gas is coming down. But the government allowed it to happen. That's why anyone affiliated with big businesses and stuff should not be allowed to run for and or be in public office because they are not about the people for the people. They're about these places they're lobbying for, these companies they're lobbying for, about getting laws made and laws changed to benefit these companies. You're going to stop Americans from being able to grow their own food, saying it's not safe. Who the hell you think was feeding your ancestors? They were feeding the dang on selves because they didn't have supermarkets. They didn't have Walmart this and Walmart that. They had to grow their own food, raise their own food, start their own food, store it, cure it, and all this other stuff. Well, we have markets and stuff now, but the people who want to still continue for enjoyment, for their personal enjoyment, for the health of their families, and to subsidize their income because they're not rich. You're trying to stop them from being able to grow their own food and then to make more extra money to pay the bills and things like that. Maybe, even if they have an overabundance of it, even sell some of it at a local farmer's market or something. You're trying to stop all that and try to have them fill out forms longer than a birth certificate requirement to people they sell it to. So if something happens, we can recall it. How about sign a form saying that you eat this food at your own risk and that's the end of that? Because if you don't want it, don't buy it. Grow your own. So yeah, that's my rant. I'm going to let you guys go. Because I made liver and onions. And it is awesome. And I just cooked some rice to go with it. So I'm going to go eat me some rice, liver, and onions. And when my husband gets home, I got to go clean the office. So, and I also got to see if I can't rustle up a Motrin or something. Because going to Suffolk, the sun was shining in my face and eyes, so I almost had a headache going there, but coming back because of people kept pulling in front of me, and I don't know what's going on, but this couple of cars have like these reflective plates. It's not just a license plate, it's like that whole piece where the license plate slides and fits into that whole little indentation part. It was like a silvery aluminum color that whole piece fit in. And so when the sun hit that thing, it just like bounces back like a laser right into your eyes. And so you're like kind of like looking to the side and stuff and just trying not to have it. I'm like sitting there going like, please somebody, please get between me and that car. So I was slowing down on purpose so cars can go around me and get between me and cars with those things like that on the car, because it just hurts your eyes. Well, it hurts my eyes bad. I have small cataracts, and when the light just doesn't go in and hit the back of my retinas. The light goes in, bounces off of these cataracts, and hits the retina. So it's like light exploding everywhere in my eyes, and it can be very painful, and it can trigger migraines. Now, as you guys can see, my gray is already showing again. It's only been what, 2 weeks? Only 2 weeks, and I've had enough new growth that my gray is showing. So I'm trying to figure out why is that all about. Now y'all see why I have no problems backing my hair off every once in a while, because to keep it like this long, it's probably like this now. So it doesn't look like it, but you guys, well, if you saw the picture of me in the car, yeah, and that's after I had already like a couple of weeks ago whacked off a couple of inches of it, and then I had her take off some more of it because it was like down in here, right here, and so I had her take it up to here. I don't want to hear it. If you're gonna move here and do my hair, you'll have some say. But while I'm the one that has to have my arms up every morning, because I rebraid my hair every morning. So, and I have to have night sweats now. So there's no use to me trying to keep it straight for long periods of time, because I sweat. I'll sweat it out at night. It's probably gonna be going through the change. So yeah, but I have night sweats now, and so it was like after the first night, it was already reverting. So I just went ahead and went in the bathroom, put some water on my hands, pulled the water through my hair, and then I washed it yesterday. So yeah. So y'all take care. I've done my rant. I've done my video. So take care. And I did a rant on the end. So those of you who don't want to watch the rant, feel free to stop after the yarn and stuff.